Hey guys, I know it's been a while, sorry. I'm finally off winter break. I went straight back to work. I got back from Tokyo on January 3rd, and then I went straight to work the next day. It's pretty relaxed, nothing much to do. Just kind of sat there on the computer and chilled. Um, so that was kind of like a mini vacation. It was very nice because I could kind of ease into work very easily. You know, just first break, and then coming back to work, but not actually doing much work, and then it starts picking up the pace slowly. So all last week I didn't really do that much except actually go to work. Um, the 10th was the what's the word? I'm definitely forgetting my English. Um, it's basically the ceremony for starting opening ceremony. That's what it's called. Opening ceremony. It was the opening ceremony for both of my schools. Of course, I couldn't be at both of my schools, so I went to the opening ceremony for one of my schools. And the kids don't actually have classes. They just come to school for like 3 hours and go back home. It's kind of pointless. But anyway, yeah, that was the opening ceremony. I didn't actually have any classes until today, and it was a little bit difficult trying to get used to teaching again, even though it's only been what, two 2 weeks, about 3 weeks. It's only been about 2.5 weeks since um, I last. Actually, it's been longer than that because my last English class was actually before the semester was even over. So yeah, it's been a while since I've taught a class. So and I've been relaxing so much. But yeah, the sixth graders and the fifth graders. I think it was business as usual. Things went okay. So I just have to get used to that again. Um, I also have to get used to waking up early again, which I don't like. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was, again, Mixie. Um, Now, I don't know if you watched one of my videos before. I talked about Mixie, which is a social networking site. It's Japan based, and basically it's like the Facebook for Japan. A lot of Japanese people don't use Facebook. They use Mixie instead. And I was talking about how I had gotten a few messages from Japanese guys on Mixie, particularly guys that were interested in dating. And I haven't really, I kind of stopped messaging those guys because um, what I was talking about before about they didn't show their profile picture, and the conversation in itself was just kind of not very interesting, and it kind of gets troublesome to have to write messages in Japanese. I mean, if it's somebody that I'm interested in, then yeah, I'll definitely try to write a message in Japanese. But to somebody that I really don't care to talk to, it's kind of a bother to do so. So I kind of stopped talking to them. Um, but I did get a message from another person just a few days ago. I believe it was Wednesday, and no, it wasn't Wednesday. It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday that I had gotten this message, and this guy. I looked at his profile after I got the message, and he actually showed his face, and I was thinking, wow, a guy is actually showing his face. And so that kind of compelled me to respond to him, and we exchanged a few messages. Uh, he did say that he was interested in dating, that kind of thing. And so he asks for my email address, my phone email address. And I say, okay, well, maybe I'll give this guy a shot. So gave him my email address and we started exchanging text messages. Now he sent me a text message, and before I could even respond to it, he sent me another one saying that he wanted to call me. And I got kind of nervous because I'm not really good with talking on the phone in Japanese. And I'm really not good with talking in Japanese in general. Um, but I'm thinking, well, might as well uh, practice a little bit and get used to it. So I say fine, and we exchange numbers. And I figured, if this doesn't go well, then I can just block his number or something like that. So, I say okay. He calls me, and I'm thinking it's just going to be some kind of casual conversation. He's just going to ask me questions, the same questions Japanese people usually ask. Like, why did you decide to come to Japan? What's life in America like? Favorite food, blah, blah, blah. I kind of figured it's everyday stuff he wants to know, just to get to know me. That didn't happen. Uh, Long story short, this guy made it clear that the only thing he was interested in was sex. And um, so, rather than asking me about hobbies, favorite things, he was asking me some very inappropriate questions. And it really, really bothered me. And I'm thinking, okay, and he was talking about wanting to meet. We had just started talking on Tuesday. He was talking about meeting in person on Saturday, and he didn't want. I said, well, we could meet because he's in the same prefecture. He also lives in Hyogo Prefecture, and I said, well, we could meet, but maybe we could meet with a group of people. And he didn't want to meet with a group of people. He wanted to meet just the two of us, and that's a big red flag. Never meet with anybody with it being just the two of you for the first time when you barely even know each other. And sorry, my voice is a little bit not so clear right now. But yeah, like he wanted to meet in person just, right away. I'm thinking that's definitely not a good idea. But yeah, all the questions he was asking me were very, very inappropriate, which I won't say, because they were just terrible. But, okay, I mean, they weren't terrible, but stuff like, you know, do you like, do you wear tight skirts? Do you wear certain types of lingerie? That kind of stuff. And I'm thinking that's really, really inappropriate. And not once did he ask me what my hobbies were. He didn't ask me about my family. He didn't ask me any of that stuff. And so after getting off the phone with him, I'm thinking I need to cut this guy off. I mean, this guy is no good at all. Like the only praises he was giving me was how beautiful he thought I was, and that from what he could see in some of my photos that I had a nice body, that kind of stupid stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, I need to cut this guy off. But so the next day he sends me a message at around 6:10 in the morning, just like a good morning message, and I'm thinking, whatever, I'm not responding to it. I'm just gonna go to work. And I checked my phone a few hours later while I'm at work, and he had sent me 3 more messages. And I forget what he said. I have to check my phone, but so at 6:10 he sent me the good morning message. At 8:58 he says something along the lines of, when you're free, sometime during work, please send me a message. And I didn't respond to that either. Then at 11:41, he says, "Ore to meru shitaku nai no?" You don't want to send messages with me? And I'm thinking, well, not really. But I didn't respond to that either. And then he sends me a message around noon, and it says, "Gomen na." Okay, and he says my name. クリスのこと考えすぎて仕事に集中できなかった。仕事終わったら返事してきてな。Basically, that means, I'm sorry. This next part is so cheesy. I've been thinking about you so much that I couldn't concentrate on my work. Huge eye roll right there. When you're finished with work, send me a reply. And I didn't. And I just sat there chilling on the computer. I was actually doing work. I was planning some lessons for my classes. And, in between, I was checking Facebook, checking Twitter, checking Mixie, that kind of thing. And he must have noticed that I was on Mixie and that I had logged in recently because when you look at somebody's profile, it does tell you how recently they've logged in, which I really hate. I wish I could turn that off. But he must have seen that I was on Mixie, so he sent me a message on Mixie and, asking for a reply. So I replied, I was like, "Sorry, I'm really busy right now. Can I send you a message after work?" And he says, "Okay." So I get off work, I take my sweet time. I send him a message telling him that it's not a good idea for us to be talking anymore. Just that I kind of we needed to be cut off. And, I told him that from our conversation the night before, um, the only thing he talked about was, perverted things and that he only wanted sex. And, it's kind of funny. I was expecting him to make this huge defense, like, "Oh, that's not true. Like, I blah blah blah," make a huge defense about it. His only response, even though I sent him the message on Mixie, he responded to me by text message, and he said, uh, that I was mistaken. But if you don't want to meet with me, then let's, not talk anymore. And I'm thinking, okay, I just confronted you. Basically, I just said you were a pervert. And his only defense was, "You're mistaken. You're wrong." That's it. That's all he said. And then he says, "Oh, but if you don't want to meet, then, if you don't want to meet up or anything, then let's just not talk anymore," or something like that. And I'm like, okay, am I just supposed to believe you? When you say that you're wrong, it's like you could at least try to put up some kind of defense, but he didn't do that. And the reason I think he didn't do that was because when I was looking at Mixie, like other social networking sites, Mixie, it shows updates of what people on your friends list do. And he and I had added each other as friends. Since I cut him off, I've deleted him from my friends list. But before that, it showed his activity, and I noticed he had been becoming friends with a lot of females. And I looked at these females' pages, and they all lived in the same area, in the same prefecture as he and I do in Hyogo Prefecture. They all lived in Hyogo Prefecture, and they were all in their 20s. And I'm thinking, yeah, this guy is just looking for somebody to sleep with, basically. So, you know, pretty sure, pretty sure I'm not mistaken, as he said about him. Um, yeah, he was just nothing but a jerk, basically. But anyway, just goes to show, ladies, if you are looking, if you're one of those girls who's into Japanese guys, because you're tired of insert, nationality here, um, Japanese guys can be jerks too. Not to say that there aren't good guys here. I'm sure there are. I just haven't met them yet, but they're here. They're around here somewhere. But if you want to meet somebody, you should probably not meet them on Mixie, because uh, it's it's kind of sketchy. It's a little bit sketchy. I mean, I'm sure there are nice people on Mixie too, but um, you'll probably have to dig through a lot of jerks before you actually meet a decent person. So, I mean, yeah. So just don't bother. You're much better off meeting. I mean, this goes for anywhere. I mean, not just Japan. Just any country. You're. I mean, sometimes meeting people online can work. Um, Works for some people, but evidently it doesn't work for me. I just I haven't had many good experiences with that. So I wouldn't really recommend it, especially not on Mixie. Don't just fall for some Japanese guy just because he's Japanese and he seems cool, because he might end up being a real jerk and he might try to manipulate you. Um, that goes for anyone, really, not just Japanese guys. It goes for, I've had American guys try to manipulate me, and I mean, so I'm sorry, all the good guys out there. I'm sorry that these guys are they're making you look bad, because it was absolutely ridiculous. Um, all the stuff that this guy was asking me. Um, so yeah, I don't really want to do that again. Um, at the moment, someone else did send me a message asking if I had a boyfriend, and I went to his I went to his profile, and on his profile it looks like he clearly has a girlfriend. His profile picture, I think, is of him and his girlfriend. Um, in his profile description, it says that he um, started seeing somebody in September, uh, and yet he sent me a message. Um, I forget what he said, but he sounds like, "Can we talk?" or something like that. I'm like, "Okay, sure." And then he asks if I have a boyfriend, and I'm like, no, but why are you asking me something like that? Because after that last experience with the other guy, I'm just thinking, why, even bother anymore? I should just um, stick to making friends with people who actually want to talk about something other than dating or romance, because I'm really sick of it. So yeah, if you are looking for somebody, uh, don't go to Mixie to do it. Just try any other place, actual physical place, not website. Just try any other place, but just don't do it on Mixie, because it's ridiculous, some of the stuff that can happen. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So I guess when something else happens in my life, I'll let you know. So for now, that is it, and I'll see you later.